cruise news time. And man, we got some cruise headlines popping off. Probably the most significant one, Carnival Corporation's announcement that they will be rolling out Starlink internet to provide a faster internet experience for their customers. And man, they're finally saying something that I really want to hear. Wait till you hear this. Norwegian Cruise Line, they're moving around some of their financial instruments so that they can pay down some debt that's coming due pretty quick. And the NBA, they partnered with a cruise line for sponsorship. Can you guess which one? New York, NBA, sponsorship? I'll leave you guessing. A lot of people asked me the other day, Tony B, why are you getting a passport card in addition to your passport book? And I do have a big question for each and every one of you today. Should Carnival Cruise Line, should they hire people to monitor the laundry facilities? Does Carnival need a laundry monitor? Cruise news and my views. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Lido, Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news and views for your Thursday, January the 20th, 2023. How the heck is everybody doing? I'm about a week before, it's about a week before I hit the road to make my way to New Orleans for the big Vloggers Group Cruise Extravaganza 2023. This thing's been in the works for a couple years. I think there's going to be close to 2,000 people there hanging out. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to go. And of course, we're going to road trip over there with some fun stops some fun stops for Jenny B and I along the way, but I'm getting dang excited. We're about a week away. A lot of stuff to do, as always. But are you going on that Vloggers cruise? I would love to see your name in the comments. Looking forward to meeting everybody out there. And also, let me take a moment to give a shout out to a couple YouTube channels that I follow, that many of you follow. We've got 2 more channels that have crossed the 200,000 subscriber mark. Royal Caribbean Blog did it last month, I believe, and there's no stopping Matt. He's already rolled past Lido, Loca, passing 200,000 and then passing 210,000. Congratulations, Matt. And then our friend Emma Latisse has hit 200,000 subscribers. She's been making some fantastic videos that have been garnering a lot of attention. But look, I'm a competitive guy for sure, but I certainly enjoy seeing the success of others, especially in the cruising space. I believe the more people that are making cruise content, reaching out to people that don't even watch YouTube, bringing them into the fold, I think it is wonderful for all of us that create cruising content. And so, such hard work put forth by Royal Caribbean Blog, by Emma Cruises, and so many other creators out there. Congratulations! And if you don't follow Emma Cruises and Royal Caribbean Blog, well, there you go. They're some of the biggest in the space. Make sure you go check them out. Way to go, guys. How about that? Man, I got so much on the list to talk about today, but let's process through the cruise news first. Then we'll get to my passport card. Then we'll get to the laundry monitor conversation. Cruise news story number 1, Carnival Corporation dropping a big announcement, announcing that they have indeed decided to go with Starlink internet on their cruise ships. Starlink is the leader in low Earth orbit satellite technology, a technology that is generating faster internet speeds than older satellite technologies. And this has been in works for a little bit with Carnival. They started back in December rolling out Starlink on some of the Carnival ships. They have also rolled out some Starlink on some AIDA cruise ships. And the goal is to get Starlink rolled out to the whole fleet, including some of your favorite brands like Princess and P&O and Costa. All of the family of Carnival Corporation will be eventually getting Starlink. And the thing that I'm most excited about is the quote from the CEO, Josh Weinstein. Finally, somebody saying the thing that people that have been wanting internet like myself have said. For many guests, it has become more and more important to maintain the type of connectivity at sea that they've become accustomed to at home. And of course, to share the unforgettable experiences of their cruise with friends and family. We are in the business of delivering happiness, and Starlink makes it easy as possible for our guests to share all their great moments and memories, giving them even more joy out of their cruise vacation. I like it. There is a huge contingency, and I'm sure there's some of you out there right now that say, I don't want the internet. I go on a cruise to unplug. Everybody else who doesn't do that are just fools. But I love the fact that while I appreciate that's the way you like to cruise, no harsh on you for that. I appreciate the fact that Carnival recognizes both sides of the coin, that there are some people that want no internet and that there's some people that want good internet, and now they're making an effort to accommodate the people that want good internet. Thank you, Carnival. It's one of the largest cruise companies in the world. Some say it's the most popular cruise company in the world, Carnival Corporation, and then Carnival Cruise Line. And, they're going to be making, I would say, a decent amount of people happy, even if it's 30 or 40% of people that are going to be excited about the internet. I think it's going to be a good play. They just raised their internet cost, and there was some question there, like with the raising of the internet costs, are we going to get some better internet? Hopefully the speed of the internet justifies the cost. I'm sure many of us will be testing out that value proposition over the year to come. Are you excited about internet? Are you not excited about internet? Leave a comment below. And just so you know, nobody's right. So don't high horse this thing. If you're a pro-internet, don't be mean to the anti-internet. And if you're anti-internet, I don't even know if you could be using YouTube right now. I'm just kidding. I know you're using YouTube, but don't be mean to the pro-internet people. Can't we all just get along? Come on now. Cruise news story number 2 takes us to another major cruise company, Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings, owner of Norwegian Cruise Line, making an announcement that they will be selling $500 million of senior secured notes for Norwegian Cruise Line. Now, these senior secured notes are an investment instrument that's used by Norwegian Cruise Line to get money, and it's money that they would have to pay back in 2028. Well, they're going to sell off $500 million of those to generate money that they can use now to pay off debt that is due in 2024. This is another example of cruise lines trying to deal with the debt that they took on during the shutdown, sometimes taking on debt that didn't have the best financial profile and debt that's coming due fairly quickly, as you can see in 2024. Let me just say this. I'm not a stock analyst. I'm not a financial person. I do own cruise stock. I own all of the 3 major cruise lines. I'm not giving out stock advice. I don't have any insider information. I guess somebody said I needed to have that disclaimer in there. I don't know if I do or not. With that disclaimer out of the way, I'll close out this story. Are you an owner of cruise stock? Does this Norwegian story concern you, not concern you? What do you think it means? Leave a comment below. Cruise news story number 3 is a story about a new partnership between a cruise line and the NBA. And this story takes place in New York City. And guess who's been doing a lot in New York City? That's right, MSC Cruise Lines, and they have now become a sponsor of the New York Knicks NBA basketball team. This is a partnership between MSC and Madison Square Garden Sports Corporation. This will mean branding inside Madison Square Garden, branding for MSC Cruises. Part of this agreement between MSC and Madison Square Garden includes some very cool environmental conservation things. Every 3-point shot that the Knicks make, there will be a donation made by MSC and Madison Square Garden for ocean conservation. MSC will be highlighted during Knicks games, and there's even going to be some cool on-ship activities. There's a scheduled basketball clinic that will take place on the sports court of an MSC cruise ship. So it's interesting to see how MSC is trying to permeate really the culture, if you want to think of it like that, going beyond traditional cruising culture, moving into the sports culture and something really integral to New York City like New York basketball. MSC, man, they've got some plans. Continue to watch them. It's going to be interesting to see if they get to that tipping point where they are very competitive with, say, a Carnival price-wise and people being happy with the product. I don't know if the people being happy with the product is completely there yet. I like cruising on MSC. I've seen a lot of people that like cruising on MSC, but I also still see a lot of critical voices when it comes to cruising on MSC. It's going to be interesting to track this as we go forward the next couple years, but it's not going to be for the lack of MSC trying to get into the North American space. Are you a basketball fan? On my recent flights to and home from Australia, I watched a really good ESPN documentary about the rival between the LA Lakers and the Boston Celtics in the 80s when Bird and Magic were playing. It was so good. I just remember, I grew up in a time where you had like 4 TV channels or 3 TV channels. My dad was a Celtics fan. I remember watching some of those Lakers-Celtics finals. One of the first computer games I played a lot on my Commodore 64 was one-on-one Bird versus Magic. So it was really cool to see that. I don't really follow basketball right now, but who's the hot team? Steph Curry? Is Golden State? Is that who it is? Is that still I don't know. Basketball fans, leave a comment below. Now, I got to answer the burning question. Why did I order a passport card in addition to my passport book? I also have to tell you about this laundry situation on Carnival. Do they need to hire somebody to monitor the laundry? But before I do that, let me quickly invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything that's going on in cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bells on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. I love making the show. I just want to say that. I love bringing cruising topics to you on a daily basis, and so I would invite you to join in on this journey. The big goal is to get to 18 million subscribers. I haven't even said that goal yet in 2023, but let's put it back out there again. 18 million subscribers. We had a great year last year, and I think we're going to have a great year again this year, but we would love to have you be a part of the Loca fam. We'd love you to be a part of the notification squad, and it starts with you subscribing with the notification bell on. I'm going to do my dangdest to give you everything going on in cruising. Come along with me. That's my humble appeal. Thank you in advance. All right, we talked the other day about my passport challenges. My passport challenges when it came to flying to Australia. I feel like I got to do some clarity, some follow-up. A lot of people said, how did you not know that your passport was expiring? I don't know if people didn't watch the video. I certainly knew that my passport was expiring. I had about 5 months left on my passport, and I had started the process of renewing my passport. I was done with basic international travel. I was just going to be cruising to the Caribbean. I have a legitimate birth certificate with the raised seal. I never cruised with a birth certificate, but I know the process. I have my actual birth certificate. And so at 5 months left on my passport, I was getting ready to renew so that I could get a new one. And please remember, last year I cruised a lot. I spent about, 20 to 25 weeks gone. And so I really didn't have any time until that last 5 months to update my passport. And so I knew going in that I had a passport problem. And so that was my scenario when I got the call from Holland America Line to go on this international cruise to New Zealand. And so that's when the wheels started turning. What am I going to do to rapidly renew my passport? Or did I even need to do that? And of course, I did the research. I checked with Australia. I checked with the State Department here in the United States. And I realized that I did not need that 6 months on my passport for Australia or New Zealand. So I did the work on the back end. So I was surprised when I got to the airport that the counter agent wasn't going to let me cruise because she believed that there could be a 6 month challenge when it came to Australia. We worked that out. I had the visa, the whole kind of thing. So just want to put everybody to rest. I certainly knew that my passport was expiring. I had a plan in place. It changed when I had this international travel come up, and I did the research to know that when I got to the airport, I would be okay to fly. That's why it was a surprising thing. Part 2 of that is I shared with you guys that I am in the passport renewal process now. I'm doing the online renewal, answering some questions on that. You don't have to send your passport in. You don't have to send your birth certificate in. I didn't even have to go and get a passport picture like at the drugstore. I was able to take my picture against a white wall and upload it and get it approved. And so when it came time to check out, it said, okay, you're ready for your passport book. Would you like to get a passport card? In the past, I haven't got a passport card because there are some limitations on the passport card. I did that. I got the expedited service. I got the 2-day shipping. That's why my bill was $238. So some people wondered what my bill was. That was because I got the book, the card, the expedited service, and the 2-day shipping. I don't know if I need any of that expedited stuff, but I just want my passport. I would really like to have it for my next cruise. I don't think I'm going to have it for my next cruise. So why did I get the passport card? Well, the reason I got the passport card is that many cruise ports, including the ones I went to in Australia, when you get off the cruise ship, they tell you to take your ship card and some form of photo ID. The reason I got the passport card is I want to use that as my photo ID instead of my driver's license that has my home address on it, all that kind of stuff. I would rather have that passport card as my photo ID. Certainly, if I get left by the ship and I just have my passport card, I'm not going to be able to fly home. That's the biggest distinction. You cannot fly home from international ports with just a passport card. You have to have the passport book. Now, in North America, you can use that passport card for some domestic in between Canada and Mexico travel, like for border crossings. But when it comes to any international things outside of that, you need the passport book. So the way I think of it is, if I'm flying, I need the passport book. But for me, I think that passport card, and I think it was $30 extra, I think that's a better form of photo ID than my driver's license because it doesn't have your home address on it. It's simple as that. That's why I got the passport card. But yeah, you need the passport book for flying. I hope that clears that up. Maybe it was a waste of $30, but that was my rationale. Do you have a passport card? How do you use it? Leave a comment below. All right, let me tell you about this sitch that played out recently on a Carnival cruise ship, and it's a question that I've long had in my mind. On some cruise ships, not just Carnival cruise ships, there are laundrettes, mini laundry rooms where you can go and wash your clothes during the cruise. You can get yourself some soap powder and some softener, and you can run a washer and dryer to do your clothes. You can get a couple loads of clothes or whatever you want to do. The challenge is there's not a 1-to-1 washer-dryer ratio to passengers on the cruise ship. So if everybody on the cruise wanted to use the washer and dryer at the exact same time, well, you couldn't do that. It's not even close. And so you have to plan out when you're going to wash your clothes, that kind of thing. I don't even know what percentage of people wash their clothes on the cruise. Have you ever washed it? I've never used it. I've never used the laundrette on the cruise ship. So I don't know what percentage of people are using the laundrette. But here's the sitch. What happens when you do want to use the laundry machines, the washer and the dryer, and you go there and it's already in use? The story goes that there was a lady who wanted to wash a certain piece of clothing before dinner. She went down to the laundrette in the early afternoon, and she noticed that there were clothes already in the washer, and those clothes had 8 minutes left to go. She hightailed it out of there. She came back 10 minutes later, 2 minutes after the load would have finished, and well, the load had finished, but the clothes were still in the washer. She didn't want to touch somebody else's clothes. I think that's a good rule of thumb. I don't think you should touch somebody else's clothes. Or maybe you should. We can have that discussion. She left again and came back another 20 minutes later, and it was the same scenario. The clothes were still sitting in the washer. She still didn't want to touch the clothes. She just gave up on getting her clothes washed that day. And so it begs a simple question. Should she have removed those clothes from the washer and started doing her own clothes, or would that have been way out of bounds to take a stranger's clothes out of the washer so that you could use the washer? And then as part of her inquiry, she did ping Carnival saying, what should I do in this situation? And so trying to solution that for Carnival, what do you think Carnival's response should be? Should Carnival station employees at every laundrette? Should there be a laundry monitor? Or how should this be handled? What would you do? Leave a comment below. Thank you so much for checking out the show today. I sure hope you enjoyed it. You can show your support by hitting the like button. And well, it's almost time for Alaska season to kick off. We're just a few months away. And I get asked the question, why would I want to go to Alaska? Well, I made this video, who should go to Alaska? Are you one of the people that should go to Alaska? Check out this video next and answer that question. This is Tony for Lido Loca. And until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.